Hey everyone, John Henry here, and today in the market psychology video, we're going to be talking about kind of a trend sentiment that turned into a range, kind of an interesting scenario that happened here on crude oil. Yesterday, we ended with a really big end of day rally that ended up closing at 49.73, and then we come in today with a gap up, showing us that, okay, well, obviously the buyers meant some business, but then we start the day off with a bearish candle. Not the prettiest bearish candle, mind you, but we start the day off with a bearish candle showing that the buyers who bought yesterday probably taking some profit off the table, and we should probably expect a correction back down before we see them try to turn this thing back up again. So in terms of the morning movement, this gap higher here in that first candle, that's not really enough information to take anything, because we kind of know that they're going to be taking profit, but they're obviously not taking much profit if that's the follow through that we get, that really kind of doji-esque bear candle. But then they follow it up with this guy right here, and that put the nail in the coffin. That said, yep, they are probably going to take profit, and that means that they're likely going to come down to a big area of support or resistance before they start reloading. And what better place than that $50 a barrel level? That's this big, thick purple line here. This $50 level has been messing with price for the last week now, and every time we hit it, we bounce off of it. So because of that, that's probably going to be an area that buyers are going to look to reload in, and sellers are going to look to take some profit off. So we can expect some form of bouncing there as long as we get a good signal. But that allows us to sell down into that move and making sure that we get some off the table in that area, because again, that's where you expect to see a bounce. A nice drive lower, you get that move going down, and we start seeing support come in there. Not a huge surprise, right? The buyers slam it higher, but get no follow through before the bears slam it lower. And this was actually the trade of the day video, so make sure that you watch that. But just a beautiful bounce right off that $50 area, basically saying, you know what, sellers, I don't believe you. If you had strength, you would have been able to easily take that lower, and you can't even close underneath the low. Yeah, okay, we don't believe you, right? And that allows a bounce right back up towards the highs. Now that high move, that little bounce right there, begins forming a channel, and we already know that the sellers are very weak on the lows. They're not breaking down, and if they do, it's bear, bull, bear, bull, bear, bull. They're just kind of ricocheting back and forth. So knowing that information, likely if we get back down to those lows, we're probably just going to see buying pressure. The exact same thing happened that we had here. Huge bear candle all the way back down. This one actually triggered at least one tick underneath it, but then ripped right back up again. So essentially the exact same scenario that we had back here, sellers completely falling apart, buyers saying, I don't believe you, and that allows a bounce for a bounce right back up. Another type of exhaustive movement. Now we did see the sellers try to come in, right? They tried to come in off the moving average. It popped up again. They tried to come in again, but look at that terrible follow through. Any seller that did take that is not going to want to hold above that, and that means that that is a good place to become a buyer, knowing that that's going to drive a potential stop run back up towards those highs. Beautiful run right back up to the channel high. They try breaking out of the channel highs, and they fail, right? They close up, they kind of fiddle around for a little while and close right back down, and that tells us that they lost their grip, and sellers are likely coming back in, and that is another opportunity to scalp short right back to that $50 area. So just a beautiful back and forth play on today's movement all over the place, but understanding the market psychology and technicals behind going from a trending morning into a range, you have to switch gears in how you trade it and make sure that you understand what's going on so that you can make the best amount of trading opportunities that you can get your hands on. So that's going to do it. Hopefully you learned something, hopefully found it interesting, and we will see you next time.